I have an idea. Hear me out.
Sure.
That I think would revolutionize everything, and that's if we just turned all our cars into bumper cars, dude. If we just put
Ooh.
padding around just the entire thing, then you could just hit people all day long. People could hit each other, and it'd be fun. You'd be like
Dude.
sitting at a stoplight. You'd be like, "Oh, okay, this is fine." And then someone hits you. You're like, "Oh," and then you're mad at first, and then you look back and you're like, "Ah, you got me."
Dude, it's the same
It's like no
application
injury.
as the dog park hitting a guy in the face with a freaking tennis ball. It's like at first you're gonna be really angry, right? Because you just got whiplash and it hurt really bad. But then seeing the joy and like it was just I was just Josh and it was a total goof. Then you're like, okay, I'm in on the joke. I'm not the joke. Dude, that's a great point. I think you
I
should
think it
take this
should.
further.
Yeah. I
Think
feel
about
like self-driving cars or whatever, but seriously, if they were bumper cars,
well then what about
So
self-driving
maybe
bumper
maybe
cars?
bikes could too. Maybe bikes could also have something all around it, so then you could just hit people on bikes too, and then
Force fields.
Dave, I don't want to burst your bumper, but I think they already exist, dude.
what?
And I think I've seen them in San Francisco. They have like the
Are you
bumper
serious?
bumpers, yeah, where they have a bumper that attaches to your bumper that makes it so it doesn't scratch your paint. And in San Francisco, it's pretty much like your car is going to get dinged, so it's a bumper bumper or a rubber bumper.
Well, but the problem is, if one person's gonna do it, everyone has to do it, or
And
else it's
everyone,
not
yeah,
fun.
you
You
have
have
to
to be able to
adjust.
hit anyone at any time.
And also, he's talking about actual bumper cars. Okay, so you need the pole
Okay.
on the back, and you need the little thing that makes contact
The
with
electricity.
Where's it connected to?
There's no
There's a
emission.
there's a giant magnet that goes all throughout the city. Actually, that's pretty awesome.
There's no emissions. There's nobody at risk. Like, yeah, drive drunk. Okay, do it.
It's
What's
full-
going to be the
Yeah,
consequence?
dude, it's full electric. Yeah,
So what?
Everyone's
You're going to
just
hit
drunk.
somebody, and you're going to have more fun and more to laugh about.
you're gonna
Why?
hit a pedestrian, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, oh,
Yeah.
you got me."
Like, imagine that
That was
interaction
fun.
with that kid after I destroyed both of his patellas. Like, imagine if I was just like, it didn't hurt, right? Because we're in bumper cars, you know. But
That's what you say to everything.
Yeah.
We're in bumper cars.
yeah, there'd be. I mean, the consequences there would be none. And dude, that's such a good idea. I think we need to get moving on the I guarantee you this is something Elon Musk. If we were like, we'll make a Tesla bumper car, he'd be like, yeah, yeah, good, yeah, and it just had like
yeah.
chaos.
Just add it.
It has chaos mode. You know how like Teslas have the stupid stuff that like fart mode and like dance mode and all this stuff. It would be chaos mode or rampage mode, and you would just drive across the freeway just intentionally bashing into people, and
Yeah,
it's a joke.
I mean, we can compromise. Maybe what if it's like a switch where you can turn it on or off? That
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
like if you turn yours on, then you can see anyone else that also turned theirs on, and then you can just like it
Ooh.
spots them out, and then you could just be like, oh, like it's like in Diablo 2 PvP. Like if you turn it on,
It's on.
oh, like it's on, dude. Like anybody can gank you.
So
Well,
could that
I don't know
save?
what any of that means, but I do know that I think that's a great idea, and I do think like we're talking about the future, right? Not so distant future. I can see a bumper car on my street within the next year and a half, but I think like,
And they're electric, dude.
but they would communicate. The cars would communicate, so the car would know like, oh, Gary over there in the fast lane, he needs a little bump, and he's into it. Done.
Gary's asking
He's
for
into
a bumping, dude. it
Gary's
would
at
it would solve
bumping mode,
road
dude.
rage for sure. Like you get fucking get pissed off and you turn it on, and you're like, let's fucking bump, dude.
Gary's just in his bumper car, like, oh, who's gonna get me?
Well, Gary, put your
And it
pants on, or
keeps,
I'm
like,
not
stats
bumping
of,
you.
like how many times you've been bumped.
It's all. Have you?
You've been bumped today.
How many? What's more, the times you've been bumped, or that you've done the bumping? You've been the bumper.
Nobody wants to be the bumper, dude.
Your
Or
bumping
the
ratio?
bumpy.
No,
What's your bump ratio?
you're right. Everybody wants to be the bumper. Nobody wants to be the bumpy. Especially like if there's people watching you that you know, and then you just get wrecked.
I'd be
And
the
then it's
fucking
like this,
bumpy,
like, you know,
and I'm
it's
pissed.
just yeah.
Well, I don't know. The chat isn't saying anything about that, so maybe,
I think we lost
maybe
him,
they
dude.
don't. Maybe they don't like my idea. That's okay.
We still have 7
Hey,
people here.
Chat.
but
Why don't you? What do you guys think of Dave's idea for bumper cars on the road? I think it solves a lot of problems. I think it saves a lot of lives. I think it honestly helps every aspect of society because there's no emissions, right?
Yeah.
There's no more need for gasoline, which is what everybody is like trying to force. This is a natural solution. We'd let the market decide.
It
And
gives
you
you a
can soup,
mission, not a mission.
and you can soup up your bumper car. The only thing is you'd have to wear a helmet, but I think I'm okay with that.
I don't know. All right, hey chat. If you like my idea a lot, don't say anything.
Paige already ruined it.
I think
You
they
got
really
100%.
like it, dude.
Oh, here we
They all
go.
like it.
What about instead of cars? I was going to say, what about instead of cars, we were in those big, like, hamster ball things? Just go where you will with that. So she wants to go like Bubble Boy? I feel
Could they
like
also generate energy from it, like a windmill,
Yeah, I don't want to have to do the work.
like a
I
hamster
don't.
wheel?
I don't want to have to use my arms or legs to propel it at all. That's the only thing.
also, I
And-
don't
and
know.
Bumper cars are electronic, so
Are you guys using cars for the same? Like, I'm getting to work, and you guys have a lot of like side things you're doing in your car. I don't think a
Sure.
bubble is going to be the best to get to work in, especially in the morning when I'm half asleep. And then bumper cars as well. You imagine trying to get to work with your coffee and you accidentally enable bumper mode, and
well, that's on you.
Well, imagine if you're
It will
late for
happen.
work and then you're like, I could really use
a bump.
something to make me accelerate faster, and then someone slams in back of you and you go flying, then you're on time for work.
And then
That's
you're like,
true.
same time tomorrow, Pete. And then you roll into work and you're like, sorry, I'm late. I got bumped. Oh, you wouldn't believe the
Dude.
bumping out there.
I got
It's
hardcore
crazy.
bumps.
I just have a neck brace.
What-
Well, hey guys.
Yeah. Just missing a tooth, just all that fun stuff. Man, I think we just solved everything again.
And things would be like the world would be so much more joyful. That's the main thing.
Yes.
Peachtree says, I was gonna say, what if instead of cars we were in those big like hamster? Oh, okay. Vince already said that. Oh, so you stole Peachtree's idea, Vince.
No, I read her.
hey,
I read it.
She said, just go where you will with that.
Hey, Peager. Peach, question for you. Are we talking like an actual hamster ball that like you got a hand over hand? Okay, well, actually, before I keep going, she just wrote more. Well, in my head, I'm picturing those hamster ball things, but with wheels. But then why would you need the hamster ball? And then still bumper cars, and if you run into each other, you go flying through the air and get to your destination faster, so you technically want to get bumped.
Okay, so it's kind
I
of like my
see it.
idea, but you're kind of combining.
Her
hamster
bump
wheels
ratio
and
is
bumper
off
cars.
though, because she's only getting bumped.
Well, some people
That's
only
gonna
wanna
be,
get
that might be a 5-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, you can't go 5-to-1 bump ratio.
Well, that's what they would ask you when you try to get insurance on your bumper car. It's like, what's your bump ratio here?
They're all,
Oh.
ooh, you got to bump
How
those
often
numbers
do you
up.
bump versus do you get bumped? That's important.
Well, how many times do you get bumped per day?
Look, I don't know if I'm just bad luck or what, but I get bumped an awful lot, and I'm tired of it.